we'll just have to do this. Okay, that's fine. Hello, everybody. Perfectly imperfect Danielle Benson and Melody Owen here today. We are here to model how wonderfully imperfectly you can show up. No, seriously. Well, I mean, yes, seriously. But also, we are here with a purpose. Melody Owen is a great, dear friend of mine. We have been friends for a very long time. A long time friend, not an old friend, a long time friend, a fellow young friend. And what Melody Owen does is that she helps people. She is an author's book's best friend. Not the author's best friend, the book's best friend. No, I'm kidding. She's your author's best friend too. But what she does is she helps people to make sure that they're doing the right thing and not wasting their time when they are writing and editing and publishing and launching their books, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Melody has all sorts of experience in the publishing, self-publishing, traditional publishing, everything world, and she's really good at what she does. So the reason I have her here today is because a lot of us speakers have books or want to have books, and we want to get out there and we want to promote the books as quickly as possible, but we might be wasting our energy. So Melody has a workshop intensive coming up on July 28th, which is going to be game-changing for you. So first, welcome, Melody. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's so nice to have you.
It is a live guided intensive. That's what
a live guided intensive.
Yes.
Okay. Melody over delivers. So it's not just one thing. It's an event, and then there's multiple pieces to it, I believe. So you can tell us more about that in a moment. But first, why is this live guided intensive important for speakers?
Yeah, so it's if you're a speaker with a book, right, or you're about to launch a book, what I see out in the world is, publishing partners often say, "We'll distribute your book," and then they make it available somewhere, Ingram Spark, Draft to Digital, Amazon, KDP, somewhere, right? They make it available. But available isn't distribution. And I have a lot of authors who come to me and say, I've spent a lot of time and effort, and I've put all my heart and my energy and my money into this book, and it's not performing. It's not doing what I want it to do. And I had a really great launch, but then nothing. And so a couple things here. One, you don't want to think about the launch as in the end. Oh, the project's done. The launch is the beginning of momentum. And you can throw a launch and all your friends can come and everyone who loves you can come, and you can sell, 100 books, and you can make it on Amazon's bestseller list. But if your book isn't set up for that long-term success, and, when you start spending time and money and energy, all your resources promoting it, you might find that it's falling flat. So the initial workshop, we're going to have a scorecard, and we're going to go through the scorecard. You're going to score your book. How well does your book score on the launch readiness scorecard? If you're published and it's just not working for you, show up, because this will help you too. So did I answer your question, Danielle?
Yeah, you did. And if you're not yet, even if you're not finished your book, knowing what to do next, like what's coming, is super important. So even if you're like, well, I'm not finished my book yet, go anyway, because this is going to stop you from wasting your time. We're going to preemptively, proactively make your life more simple and streamlined. So I was just listening to you and I was thinking, it's kind of like the available versus distributed. It's kind of like, if I've created a beautiful website all on my own, it's available to the internet. It's there. It exists on the internet, but nobody knows about it. Yeah, that's available.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of your book. The distribution of your book is the equivalent of you doing all that social media reach out and lives on LinkedIn and going to speaking gigs and and all that promotion. That's kind of and then of course you also have to have promotion. But that's kind of like the equivalent is distribution is essential. You can't just be available. That's like saying, but my website's live. Why is no one coming to it?
Yes,
which I think these days we kind of get that.
Yeah, and for indie authors, Tradition, like, so I won't use the word traditionally. In the past, traditional authors had all these pathways and this infrastructure that they set up that they were using to get books from, the books they chose out to the stores, out to people, out to readers. And indie authors were not invited in. In fact, they're still not invited in. But a lot of people, me, a lot of other people, we are working on solving this problem. We want indie authors to have strong pathways to readers. And this is part of the solution to this. So we're going to talk about, people are going to learn. It's like, oh, well, this is why I'm not, this is why it's so hard to get my book out. Traditional publishers, they have sales teams, they have marketing teams, they have distribution paths, they have all of this set up for them, and it's closed to indie authors. And that's a huge challenge. This is part of that solution.
And it's not just about promotion. Like, this is actually pre-visibility, what we're talking about right now. This isn't about going out and telling people about your book. That is also extremely important. But if it's missing a few critical things, going out and telling them about it is like, it's like going out and telling everyone to book an appointment with you, but you don't have a Calendly link. Well, if you don't have the link, how are they going to book the appointment? So this is the thing. This is the missing piece that I think a lot of people don't even know they're missing. And they're like, but I'm talking about my book everywhere. Why isn't it, what's going on? Why am I not seeing any sort of action? So Melody, can you talk about what makes a book launch ready before the visibility stage? What do we need to have in place?
So you need positioning. The book needs to be positioned. So I want you to think about another product, completely different product. I want you to think about blenders. Let's just think about blenders, okay?
Blenders, okay.
Blenders, yes, blenders. You go into the store and there are all these blenders. There's small blenders, there's big blenders, there's powerful blenders, there's portable blenders, there's hand blenders, there's the professional blender, iPhone blenders, there are all these blenders. Which blender are you going to buy?
The cheapest.
And so if a blender person was standing there going, well, my blender's for everyone. My blender's perfect. You need my blender. And it's like powerful enough to chop your iPhone to bits, but all you really want to do is make a smoothie in the morning and you want something to blend it in and then turn it over, put a lid on and carry it away. That blender's all wrong for you. Same with books. Just because you write a book about parenting or leadership or whatever the topic is, doesn't mean anyone who comes along and says, I'm looking for a book on leadership is going to go, that's the book, right? So we need to position it properly. That is the very first thing. And I have a set of 5 questions to help authors understand whether their book is positioned well. We have examples for that. It's going to be so much fun. Then we have available. Available is so important. Is it in the right formats? Is it at the right pricing? I often see, people pricing their book, kind of on their own without looking at the genre, the
industry
audience.
Standard.
Is your metadata right? Your keywords are the retailer listings. Like a lot of people, they're told, we're going to distribute your book, and that means we've set it up at Ingram Spark. But is it set up properly? So retailers will go to Ingram Spark, but they won't. Not every book in the Ingram Spark database is ready for retailers. Sometimes it's set up in a way that's it's wrong, and retailers won't have it. And there's some risk around that as well, which we're going to talk about. So authors want to be sure they understand how to set it up, because bookstores don't buy your book. They actually take them on consignment. And so you still own them. If they don't sell them, that's a whole other thing. We're going to talk about that. And then there's access. Just because it's available doesn't mean that bookstores and libraries and event organizers have access to it. So you want to make sure that there's actually a pathway from that availability to the hands of the reader. And there's some really great alternatives now for indie authors, and we're going to talk about those pathways. And then there's trust. So we often forget this. So if somebody walked into a bookstore and your book was sitting there and they knew nothing about you, they knew nothing about you, right? They'd have to turn it over for your name and the photograph and the bio. They know nothing. Would they buy it?
Mhm.
Danielle, have you ever walked into a bookstore looking for a nonfiction book and just gone to a section and looked through and decided based on how much you trusted a particular book and you bought that one and ignored the rest?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. We do that, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
the other part of trust is endorsements and reviews and all of those things that we use. And so the question is, would a stranger, if they happened upon your book and were interested and they were it was positioned well for them, would they trust it? Would they buy it? So we're going to talk about that. And then finally, we are going to talk about demand, because demand is really important. You can't just put it out there, like you said about the website. There has to be demand. And so
I like it.
right. We're going to talk about how to create that demand, not in a launch and gone way, but in a sustainable manner, so that you
Mm.
can do that over time. Because, can you imagine you could spend $1,000, get some organization to do an Amazon campaign, sell 200 books, and that pays for the campaign. It feels
Mhm.
good. Oh, it feels so good, right? I was once an Amazon bestseller. But what if you could create demand and sell 1,000 books over a year or 2 years, or and then maybe in year 4 and year 5 you're only selling 200 books, but that's way more than that 200 books for the Amazon
And then
bestseller
crickets.
campaign, and then crickets. I like to think
Hmm.
about it like a marriage, right? You don't get married for the wedding. If you're getting married for the wedding, you're getting married for the
You're doing
wrong
it for the wrong
reason,
reasons.
right? I like to think it's like, people think about the launch like a wedding. Like, this is a fun
Yeah.
party, but you got to go home with each other afterwards, right?
Hmm.
There's a lifetime to live together. And it's the same with your book. There's a
Yeah.
lifetime to live with your book. You're building this relationship with your book and through your book with your readers. And that's a
And
marriage, not a
you put
wedding.
so much work into this book. Like if you're launching a book, it's probably years of your life that, probably most people, if you're not writing it with AI, probably years of your life and your blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this book. And yes, a launch is exciting and it's sexy, and like you said, it's like a marriage. It's a big event. It's very cool. But what's even more sexy is consistent income.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I agree.
Consistent income is sexy as hell. So that's what we want. We want to keep using the book. We want to use the book when we go to speaking events. We want to just see money trickle into our account every month. Oh, isn't that nice? We want to build that over time and let it continue instead of just. So that is something very important to remember. And the thing that I love about the way Melody coaches is that she's also not a wedding only kind of gal. You
No,
have this workshop, which is 90 minutes on the 28th of July. And then she's going to meet with you every week for what, 6 weeks?
four
6 weeks?
weeks. 4
4
weeks.
weeks.
So
Sorry, 4 weeks. I
there
apologize.
are 5 topics, and we're going to meet for 4 weeks. And in those 4 weeks, we're going to deal with all of those topics.
Right.
Some
So
of
you've
them
got coaching sessions to guide
absolutely.
you through after this 90-minute intensive. You're going to learn
Yeah.
a lot. You're going to learn all the things that you don't maybe want to hear. I don't want to say it like that, but you know what I mean. Like all of the scary things that you're like, but she's not going to abandon you after those 90 minutes. Then you've got
Yeah.
4 more sessions of working through it, problem solving, being proactive, figuring it out, and she's there to support you. So that is what's really cool. And if you think about that, that is a lot of her time. And how much
Yeah.
does this cost?
$97.
$97.
$97. Yeah. And
You should
what I
do
think
it. You
is
should do it
what
now. Sign
do
up
it.
right. I don't have the link. Where's the link? I need to get the link.
Oh,
Where's the link? Oh
we
no.
will.
Let me throw the link in the chat right now.
Okay,
That's
you're
just
doing
silly.
that.
That I'm doing it. I think. You talk for a minute while I figure out the link,
There you
Melody.
go. I've done it. What
Oh,
I
you've
think
done
is
it. Thank
really
God.
cool. So this is what I think is really cool, and this is kind of this is something I want to do more often.
Mm,
People come to me and they say, "My book's not selling. I don't know why." But they don't know where it's broken. They don't know what to ask me. They don't know what they need help with. This is why
yeah.
I've set it up this way. So you come in for your 90-minute intensive, and we go through all the things your book needs to be, and we have a scorecard. At the end, you get a score, and you'll know, Oh, I'm weak in availability. Oh, I'm strong in positioning, but we can
Mm-hmm.
trust. You're actually going to walk out the 90 minutes. You're going to walk out going, I know where I'm weak. I know where I'm strong. I know what I need. And so when you
Mm-hmm.
come to the first, let's say the first coaching session, and we start talking about positioning, you can say, I know where I'm strong and I know where I'm weak. And you can tell me, and I'm immediately, it's like, right, now we're right in it. We know exactly what we need to do. And
Love
in
it.
positioning, we can all look at our books and each other's books and help each other with that positioning. Yes, I'm the coach. I'm the person who's been in publishing for years and years. But your cohorts will also say like, oh, I would read that book, but yada yada. And we're going
Mm.
to use examples from the real world as well, so people can see what that looks like. So
And
it's going to be really awesome.
community and support. Those things are priceless. They
Yeah,
really are.
yeah.
They really
And
are.
knowing what questions to ask your coach.
Yeah.
That's important. And I want to set it up so that can happen.
And often you'll show up and you'll have no idea. And you'll be like, I don't know what I don't know. And then people start asking questions like, oh, yeah, I need to know that. Or that reminds me of this other thing. So, yeah, it is. It's so huge. And so I just want to encourage everybody. This is an amazing opportunity with Melody that she's offering. She has got I want to say a whole suite of goodies in her Author Odyssey. If you haven't checked out her Author Odyssey, you should, because it is an adventure. Like, it's an adventure. It's an Odyssey adventure. But she's got so many really cool, exciting ways to help take the fear out of creating a book, to help that build that momentum, because I think writer's block happens to everybody. Those little voices in our heads that tell us that we can't do it happen to everybody. And Melody is so experienced and so nurturing that you are never going to feel alone, and you're never going to feel like you don't know what's next. She's always got your back. So we are going to wrap it up now, but I just want to say thank you, Melody, so much. And if you have one thing to tell my audience, speakers, business owners, authors, wannabe authors, what would that one thing be?
Indie authors can be successful. The industry
Yes,
has
they
not
can.
been with you for a long time, but the industry is getting with you now. And I want to be a part of that. Yeah. Danielle, thank you so much for doing this with me. It was
It's
so
so
much fun.
fun. It's
Yeah.
so fun. It's always fun to chat with your friends. And yeah, and we should all be supporting each other. So if you have questions for Melody, please reach out to her. If you have questions for me, if you're too scared to talk to Melody because she's so intimidating, ask me and I'll follow them on. I'm so cruel. This is tired brain. There's no filter. We'll see you all soon, and do check out Melody's workshops. If you can't make this one, make the next one, because she is just an absolute genius. You do not want to miss out on her level of support. It is just it's too good to be true. So take it now quickly before she realizes that. I'm going to say goodbye. We'll see you all soon, and happy adventuring on your Odyssey. Bye.